Hey everybody, so in this video we're going to be taking a look at just finishing off the eye armature, and then I just add a little quick animation of this. So what you end up getting is this. You'll see that the eyes track some targets, and then we just parent up all the bones to the body parts, and I just did a really lame little animation there just to show that it all moves and works with each other. If you want to see it without the armature. And there you go. I mean, that's the basics, right? All done in about 25 minutes. Here comes how to hook this up. Okay, so let's get started on doing this. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the eyeball. Actually, I'm just going to go into ugly mode here. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to select one of the eyeballs, and what I want to do is I want to get this 3D cursor right in there. And so with the eyeball selected, I can actually go Object, Snap, Cursor to selected. It'll snap the 3D cursor, right, this thing, right to the center of the eyeball. Okay, perfect. Now don't move it. Okay, don't move it, and go into the armature. Okay, this is important. I'm going into the armature we already have. We're only going to have one armature. Okay, so go into edit mode. We're going to add bones to it. So add single bone. Okay, now you'll see I get a whole bunch. See the add bone? Or sorry, I didn't get a whole bunch. I just got that one bone there. Sorry for saying that. So I got the one bone there. I'm going to grab this, though. I want it to aim straight forward. So let's do a little grab Y. Let's do a little grab Z. You want to put this basically into its default position. So if you hit 3 and look at it dead sideways, I mean, you can if you want. If you want to use your little end tab here and get the perfect height, you know, on this thing. And this thing, make sure they're the same, but you know what? I'm just going to eyeball it. That's pretty good there. Pretty straightforward. And then I want to do the exact same for the other eyeball. So let's go back into object mode. Let's go to this one here. Let's go Object, Snap, Cursor to selected. Cursor's there. Perfect. Go back into my armature. Go into edit mode. Add a bone. And let's grab it in the Y, grab it in the Z. Let's just see with the number 3 how we're doing there. Hey, you know what? Look at that. That was almost exactly the same. Okay, pretty close. Perfect. Okay, 2 bones. I'm going to name this bone. Go to the Bone tab. This is for the right eye, so I'm going to call this eye bone dot capital R. And let's name this one eye bone dot capital L. Okay, now we're going to set them to track later. Now, let's do a little duplicating. Let's take both of them. So shift select both. And let's do a little duplicate. Shift D. Y. Move them straight out. Okay, so they're out in front like that. And with these 2 in front, okay, of the bird like that, it depends how you want to do it, but I'll just do a little scale X. SX. Okay, that's not working. I'm not going to bother doing that then. So I'm just going to leave it the way they are there. Now I actually need one more bone, okay, that I'm going to add into here. So let's just go, you see the 3D cursor there? I'm actually just going to take the 3D cursor tool and plunk it here and just go add bone. We'll see where this ends up. Okay, just sort of center it so it's between those eye bones that we just made. Whoops. Come on, we can do this. Grab the right tool. If you actually want it totally center, you can do this. You can hit Alt-G. I don't know why my Alt-G is not working here. Oh well, I'll just pick it up and move it. Let's get it center. Let's move it up a bit. Okay, looks good. And what I want to do now is I want to parent these 2. So hold Shift and select them all. This is going to be the parent bone. So hit Control P and keep the offset. That's pretty good. I'm going to name these 3 bones here. So this one right now is called eyebone.right1. Let's call it eye target dot right. And let's call this one iTarget.left. And let's call this one iMaster. Okay, and so now you can see the effect here when I'm in pose mode and I move the master, right? Those two just follow it, so that's good. So put them back. And you may as well stay in pose mode because we're going to do the tracking now. And all you do for the tracking is you just take this bone and we're going to give it a tracking constraint. So it always looks towards this bone here. So take your right eye bone. We're in pose mode. Go to bone constraints, add a constraint, and there's inverse, but it's not inverse. This one is track to. Where do we want to track to? Pick our armature. And the bone is iTarget.right. Now, if you get this, this is purely because of the axes and the directions of the local axes of the eye. You can actually, it's without explaining and popping open all the axes menus, you can actually just keep fiddling with these, right? And you'll eventually get one that works. I think this actually works. Track the Y. Green is Y, right? So track the Y, and Z is up. And Z is up. That's the Z there. So I think that actually works. So let's just test it out here. If I grab this, yeah, it looks like that's going okay. Okay, so that's good. And then do the same thing for the other one. Okay, so add the constraint. Track to, armature, iTarget left. And let's go for YZ. I think that should be okay. And if you grab your iMaster now and just pick it up and move it, you can see the eye bones follow. Okay. Perfect. You better select everything and Alt-R, Alt-G just to reset them. Now, other parenting we have to take care of here. The eyes, right? If the head does end up to turn or dip down, we need the eyeballs to follow. So you want these eye bones to follow. So let's go to edit mode and let's take both the eye bones and shift parent to the head bone. Control P. Okay, and so now if the head bone, you can see here in pose mode, you can see if I bend the neck, rotate X. Hey, what just happened? Why did that not parent? I think I might have messed up. Better check it again. Take this. Let's just do one of them. Do that. Parent. Keep offset. Okay. Now in pose, now I'll go back to edit mode. Or sorry, go back to pose mode. Let's rotate this. Rotate X. Okay. They're rotating okay, but they end up looking still at the tracked object. Now I'll do the other one. So let's just reset everything here. Okay, I'll do the other one. Shift, Control P to parent. Sorry, I should be doing that in edit mode. There we go. Bone. Select, Control P. I do not want them connected. What's going on? I'm having a bad day. Or Shift, Control P. I do not want it to connect. I don't know quite what's going on here. Is it already connected? Maybe it's this one I gotta connect. Control P, connected. I don't know, it thinks it's already done, but it's like I'm having trouble. So let's see here. Rotate X. Oh, sorry, I had already done both of them. It was fine. Oh well, my mistake. Anyways, here we go. Now, the one thing that's really just preference what you're going to do with this. I've got this thing set to track this iMaster here. Now, when the head bobs down right now, you can see the eyeballs keep looking at the master. Do you want to connect the master to the neck? It's up to you. So for instance, if I took this iMaster and I also parent it to the neck, Control P, bone relative. Sorry, I'm in pose mode again. Shouldn't be doing that. Edit mode for parenting. So take the bone, take the neck, Control P, keep the offset. Okay. And now when I go to pose mode and test this out, rotate X, you can see the eyes are going to follow those bones and the target moves down. So it depends. You don't have to do that, but you might want to do that. Now, is this pretty good, or do I have to do any more connections? Well, let's see what happens. Let's see when I move the body, grab the body down. Okay, the eyes stay forward, and because it's parented to the neck right now, the eye master moves down, the eyes stay forward. Maybe that's what you want, right? If you take off the eye master parenting, you know, the eyes will change direction. And when you grab the main body bone, right, everything moves, which is good. Okay. Now, of course, at any point, you can untrack these and make them track some other object in your world if you wanted to. But for this one, we're just going to leave it like this. So basically, we have the whole armature done. Okay, so there's our little object. It's all one armature. You have a little inverse, a little forking, a little eye control, a whole bunch of targets. Not too bad. Now, the very last step here would just be adding all the bones to follow and parent. And so I'll just do a few of them, how to link it up, but here's what the procedure would be. You basically link every piece to every piece. So for example, object mode, take the eye, shift, select the armature, but don't parent yet. You don't want to parent to the armature. Go into pose mode and select the bone specifically. Now Control P and parent to the bone. Okay, don't do armature deform. We're not deforming our mesh. We just want to parent to the bone. And that's it. And just, we keep doing this now over and over. So select the eyeball. Shift, select the armature. Go into pose mode. Select the right bone. Control P, bone. Okay, and you just keep going through. Okay, so you can see here in pose mode, rotate X, starting to build up, right? Look good. And just keep going through. Go bone by bone, piece by piece, and there you go. And you've got your thing all done. Pretty good, huh? And when you're finished, you will have the bird. So I'm going to finish it, and you'll have what you saw at the beginning of the video. But you'll have it in beautiful color with the eyeballs and everything moving. It'll be pretty good.